So you want a suppressor. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go quick through this, okay? Initial purchase. Go to a firearm shop, talk to them, see what they've got. See if they have a kiosk or see if you have to do it the old-fashioned way and send in the paperwork by mail. Here's what you're going to have to do with the initial purchase. You go, you look at your suppressor. This one was $899, $899. You purchase your initial purchase, $899. You're going to have to send in a tax stamp, $200 to the NFA, the National Firearms Act. You're going to have to get fingerprinted. You're going to have to give a copy of that paperwork and the fingerprint record to the sheriff's office. You're going to have a licensed passport photo, okay? Or a passport photo. So you go to a CVS, you go to Walgreens, get a couple passport photos made up. You get the paperwork from your gun shop and you send it in. Or you do it at a kiosk if they're cool enough to have one of those, okay? That's the initial purchase. So we're $899 in on that, $200 in. But there's more to it. So you get your initial suppressor, $899. Well, this is for my 1/2x28 thread. This is for my 9mm Beretta, clear firearm. We want to run the suppressor. When we're shooting it, it's a little bit off. This AAC has adjustments. You pull on it, you twist it, and it'll lock in different places. I'm showing you that because I'm about to break it down and show you something even cooler. You say, well, I don't want to buy a suppressor for my 9mm because I've got a 9mm, I've got a 45, I've got a 380. Cool. A lot of suppressor companies now, they're doing this. When you take this suppressor apart, this is your piston. You take this suppressor apart to clean it or to adjust it. This is my 1/2x28 threaded piston. Well, I want to run it on my 45 ACP, which has a 5x28 thread on it. Or excuse me, 5/28 thread on it. So we put that piston in here that we bought from Advanced Armament. Here's my 45 ACP. I thread this guy on there like so. Come on. Oh, we gotta thread it backwards, right? Take my own advice. Put this guy on there. And now, same thing. You can adjust it for point of aim, point of impact shift, but lock it in. And now I've got a suppressor for all my handguns up to 45 ACP because that's what this is capable of. Now 22 runs a little dirty. If you're gonna run a 22, you kinda wanna run a dedicated suppressor for a 22. But so your initial purchase, you make it $899 for your pistol suppressor, okay? $899. What happens next? Your hidden costs. These are your hidden costs, okay? You have a suppressor, you're gonna wanna put it on all your guns. Here's another hidden cost. You have to have threaded barrels, dude, okay? So you buy a Glock like this and then you spend $190, $230, or if you're salient, $320, unless you buy the whole package, for a threaded barrel for your firearm. Pretty cool. You clean it. Some of these are modular. I can lengthen or shorten this suppressor. This is an Advanced Armament Tyrant TI-45 because it'll shoot 45 ACP. It's meant to shoot 45 ACP and down from there. So you can run 380, you could run 357 SIG, 40. Anything that is smaller than a 45 ACP in dimension, you can buy a piston for and actually run that. So that's pretty cool. Something else now, the process. We touched on it a little bit. It's gonna take a while, okay? You go there, you find out what you gotta do. If you gotta do the actual kiosk, it's literally like a computer you sign on to, you put all your information in. Or if you gotta do it by hand, it's kind of the same thing. Some people say the kiosk works faster, some don't. I've seen it kind of work both ways. It just depends on what the NFA and ATF does. Now, you've got your weight and patience. My first suppressor, this one for my rifle, okay? This is an Advanced Armament 7.62 SDN, 16 months. 15, 16 months is how long it took me to get my suppressor. 15 to 16 months. You gotta have some patience. Your benefits, hearing, safe. These guys don't necessarily need them anymore. Most rifles I run this on a 223 5.56. At an indoor range, you're still gonna wanna use hearing protection for obvious reasons. But outdoors, cacking off trees, cracking, this, that, and the other thing, I really find that I could run this suppressed and not wear ear pro if I had to. Usually I'm shooting with other people. It's more the benefit of being able to, if I'm teaching and showing somebody how to do something, for me, it's easier to not have to tell them to put ear pro on, tell them to put ear pro off, tell them to put ear pro on, tell them to put ear pro off. Or even if you have ear pro like this, it's easier for them not to get so like, oh my God, he just fired off a shot out of nowhere because I have the suppressor kind of deal. So, the benefits we're gonna continue farther. If you're in your home, if you're in your car, if you're in someone else's car, if you're in an office, if you're in a building, and you shoot anything off above a 22 short, it's loud, okay? You're gonna have issues with hearing. It's a bad day at the office. You're gonna wanna work on that. The lies. This is what I wanted to cover in this video real quick. It took me years to go and commit myself to buy one of these things. Buy once, cry once. And the main reason is I heard people saying that, well, you know, if you buy a suppressor, that anytime there's a shooting, they're going to come to your house. And if you've got leather couches, they're going to cut holes in them and tear them apart and look for your suppressors or your guns. And they're going to take all your guns and they're going to do an investigation and they're going to do ballistic data tests and see if, since they didn't have the shooter, they're going to show up at your house and just rip your house apart. No, that doesn't happen. Unless they have a specific articulatable reason and probable cause for a search warrant, they're not showing up at your house. Now, do they have to have a search warrant with a suppressor? It's kind of one of those things that you sign off on, okay? It's an implied consent kind of thing. So if you get pulled over, at least where I work, if you get pulled over and you're driving, DMV says, hey, you're done, dude. You got to show your license. If not, you go to jail, okay? You have to give them access to these. You have to carry your paperwork with you. You have to carry your actual tax stamp with you. They put the stamp on the paperwork that you send off when you go through your initial purchase and you go through the process. You keep it on at all times. I've seen people keep copies of it on them as long as they're readily accessible to get the actual tax stamp, but that's pretty cool. But to summarize, the initial purchase, buy once, cry once. $8.99, $200 tax stamp. I overnight mailed it because I wanted the certified letter. You got to send a cashier's check, money order type deal. Hitting cost, pistons, accessories, barrels. You're going to spend a little money there. The process takes a while. Go there, kiosk, paperwork. Pretty easy. Wait and patience takes a while. I think this one took me 12 months to get. Still waiting on one from March, and it's November. So, benefits all day long. Easy to hear, easy to shoot. In your house, lifesaver. I want to hear people in my house moving around. Am I saying it's like the movies and you're going to hear pew, pew, pew when you're shooting? No, you're not going to hear that. That's going to end up, somebody's going to dub that. I know that. Lies. They're not going to just rip your house apart. They're not going to just show up and door kick your car and rip everything apart. It's just not what happens, okay? They're pretty cool. It's something that's really awesome to get into, but do your research. What you like and what you want and what you need might not be what you need. Comment below, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. But if you legitimately have questions, I make these videos for that purpose, okay? If you have questions, comment below. I'll get back to you. Have a great day.